How about this? Hey, Ed. Wow. So, this, you just said, you mentioned my dad.
Your dad?
You talked to my dad because it was his 90th birthday. It's actually Saturday.
Yep. Wow. Yeah, he told me that.
And so we had a big soiree, and we went down there last week, and I went into the warehouse to find something fun to take down there, but the restaurant minimum for the food was so high that we decided to drink their wines. However, they did not have on their list the 1995 Chateau I.G.P I took.
Oh, well, that was nice.
Which oddly we didn't have on our list either. I just found it. I found it in the warehouse. Who has a random bottle of 95 I.G.P lying around? Well,
a few people. I've got a random bottle of 1980.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good money.
That's actually in my son's cellar because from the time he was born in 1974, every year I put away 2 bottles of wine on his birthday.
Oh.
And the deal was when he turned 21, he had to drink one of those bottles with his dad, and the other one he could drink with the floozy of his choice. That was how I put it to him. Anyway, welcome to the Wine of the Month Club. This is actually October of 2018. Yesterday it was January of 2018. I don't know how we got here, but I looked up the wines from 40
I got here,
years.
but I come down Magnolia, and I make a left on everything.
Why did I know that was coming? Anyway, 40 years ago, this month, we featured the Franciscan Chianti.
What?
Chianti from Franciscan, $2.50 a fifth. That was about a year before we started using 750s. I think 79 was when we started to use the 750s.
Instead of calling it fifth.
Yeah, instead of calling it a fifth.
Which is 5 bottles to a gallon, right?
5 bottles to a gallon, exactly. And the white, though, was Domaine Jucher Chablis.
Oh, a real Chablis.
Yeah,
Wait
real Chablis.
a minute, you had a real Chianti.
No.
A fake Chianti, the fake Chablis?
We didn't have a real Chianti. We had a German who made a Chianti who was going to be a Franciscan monk. That's how he named the winery, Franciscan. Justin Meyer studied to be a Franciscan monk, decided he liked women more than prayer, and so he left the ministry and had kids, got married and had kids.
Talk about crossroads, huh? So, it's funny, you said that.
I went down to the crossroads just to...
And you going up the country?
Yeah.
So, I've had 2 pretty influential wine families in the office the last couple of weeks, and I told you about Clovis Taittinger was here, of course, of the Taittinger family, and then a non-family member of Bollinger, but one of the high bigwigs, Guy de Rivois, was here, and so we've had a great time on camera. I hope you guys watch it. But one of the things I wanted to say was you said that the Franciscan Chianti,
yeah,
right? Yeah. So who knows what grape it was?
Well, yeah, your dad didn't even say. It didn't make any difference what it was. I mean, Chianti is a place in Italy. It's not a grape.
So one of the winemakers, or one of the guys, grabbed, and it's been taken down since then, but was the Fetzer Gamay Beaujolais.
Oh, I bet that made him happy.
He's like, look at this. Isn't this funny? It was like a 78 or 79 or something.
Yeah.
So it was really old. He goes, yeah, can you imagine this? He was fascinated by the idea that we would call it Gamay Beaujolais. Again, another region. Well, it's a grape, but it's also a region. So anyway, we have some great wines this month. I hope you stick around and check it out.
Not here.
That's interesting.
No, I don't think that was a smart thing to do.
French
but then
fart
again,
going on there.
That never stopped.
Hey, welcome to the limited side of the limited series, the series of the side of the limited wines for the month of October 2018.
You think you can limit your words on this?
I help you watch the preview, and boy, I got some. Man, I taste the wine. I taste the wines with the staff now. I know you are not happy because you're no longer part of that tasting, but you're
I don't
welcome
really care.
You're welcome to come anyway. But let's rinse this. There's something there. So the key being that we taste all the wines with the staff now, sort of in a more formal environment. We make them study the thing. We make them look up the appellations. They each get 2 wines to discuss with their peers, so it's a little more functional. And man, this lineup is great this month.
I'll be the judge of that.
Not the least of which is this incredible deal on this Reata thing. And I love the age in this one.
Well, yeah, this is 2012 or 13. 13. I'd never heard of these people. They have quite an interesting history and story. But then again, so do the other 4,000 wineries in California.
You know, to taste aged Pinot sometimes.
Wow. Yeah, I remember this now.
It's just perfect for what it is. It's a 3-county wine.
Yeah, but they're all Sonoma. Well, it's not 3 counties, is it? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's right. Because they have one that's just Sonoma coast.
So this is Monterey, which is going to be that crisp brightness.
Right.
Sonoma, a little more depth. And San Benito is going to be.
San Benito is very unknown but that's right near Monterey, and Chalon and the.
So you get the acid from there.
Yeah, you do get the nice acid, but there's density in this wine that you don't normally get in Pinot Noir, and I don't know that that's necessarily a good thing because sometimes they can overplay it and give you too much density and too much richness and thickness, and that's not really what Pinot Noir is all about. These guys reach just the right amount, where it's got some flavor and some body. But man,
I'm so impressed with this. It's just the age of it, because what I'm getting now with the Pinot Noir Club, particularly, everything's fresh, everything's bright, everything's acid, everything's like great flavors. But Pinot Noirs can age really gracefully, and this is what's happening here.
There's no question about that.
And I think with that mid bump in volume is coming from the Sonoma part of this juice, because I love the Russian River versions of Pinot Noir. So this is I've seen it on the web for up to $29. Now, what is this?
Well, I don't know what it costs.
My producer has changed the size of the number, so it's $15.99 for more.
Good. That's
Okay.
what it usually is. You just can't get help these days.
It's really
They've
good.
proven it by going through 27 people in one day. Well, I'm doing a 97 on this. I think it's a spectacular Pinot Noir.
I'll do 97 too.
97.2?
97 also.
Oh, okay.
No, it's
good.
great. I was espousing its virtues with the staff when we tasted
You
it.
were you?
So,
What else you got?
well, this is the reserve Cabernet from the Broken Earth group. And I told you on the phone earlier that there was the one bottle we opened last week was CO2 in it, but it blew off. So it's just a matter of the bottling method. But man, what depth this thing is.
Well, all the wines that we've gotten from this place are just incredible, and I know this winery, the vineyard, very well. I actually used to buy grapes from them 36 years ago
This one does not have the CO2.
when I was in Paso Robles,
Oh.
and it's amazing about that. You talked about age on that one, on the last one. This is a 2012, but the difference between this wine and most others is that it was stored at the winery from the day it was bottled.
Yeah,
it has
sitting
never been moved. It's never been shaken or stirred.
That is great. That is
and
correct.
That is such a huge difference, even though it's only been 6 years. I mean, look at the color on this. If you look at this color, you'd say, "Oh, this is like 2017."
And it's
You know.
classic Paso, that dark fruit, a nice deep middle.
It's got great complexity and flavor. God, the wine is absolutely incredible. I mean,
The
We
fruit
had-
in the nose is pretty amazing.
we had the Merlot, that goofy label that somebody came up with, sample only. God, I served that to so many people. They went nuts.
Yeah,
They
it's
went
so good.
absolutely nuts. That wine was so good. And this is right
It's
up
too
there.
bad it was a sample only.
Sample only with the phone number on. You never
Right.
figure out what the phone number was on the label? Sometimes these guys go, wow, that really came out of you, didn't it? A 98 for me. I mean, this wine is absolutely spectacular. I mean, and I'm not even a big Cabernet fan, but I really like it.
The way you say that, you wouldn't be a fan of anything, because every wine we bring home, I'm not a Syrah fan. I'm not a Chardonnay fan.
Well, I'm trying to hold my impartiality in check, okay? Because I think that's the mark of a good wine taster and writer, is to be impartial. I mean, I recommend wines I wouldn't personally drink because I think they're well made. Hello?
$5.99 on the shelf, $15.99 for more.
Oh, good.
Let me ask you this question.
Go ahead, ask me.
Because having
This goes on your side of the table.
having two champagne makers in the house recently, that's yours. They've always said this, and I think now it seems maybe it's a little more prominent. Where's that? Putting champagne in your regular consumption routine.
Every chance I get, as long as somebody else is paying for it.
I'm gonna start trying it at the house. I don't drink champagne at the house, but I had these are so complex and so interesting, and the stories are so great. I'm gonna take some home and see if.
No, I love champagne. I absolutely love champagne. I don't think I've ever met a champagne I didn't like. Okay.
You're gonna love the Comtes.
This wine. You know, we have probably done more Portuguese wines in the last 3 months than in the last 30 years.
Well, I told you when we went to the Vin Expo in 1993, and my dad and I went to the Portuguese booth, which was the only booth at the time that had nobody in it, and there was good reason because everything was horrible.
Oh yeah, well,
Particularly the Vinho Verde, which was at that time sort of an indigenous, quaffing thing. Now it's like they're gorgeous, and this is one of the grapes of.
oh yeah, well, it's a grape of Vinho Verde,
Alvarinho.
Alvarinho. But
the
it's
nose.
grown in the south, and Vinho Verde is in the north. So, and it's the same grape as what's in Reas Baixas, which is that little strip above Portugal that's part of Spain. That's Alvarinho.
Wow.
Well, to get back to Vinho Verde, that one we featured last week,
Bonito.
I have poured that for so many people. Oh, Vinho Verde, and they taste it. Oh God, is this good?
That was pretty atypical.
But well, it is. It isn't now. I mean, that's our second Vinho Verde that was just out of this world. Absolutely.
Well,
and in the classic series,
yeah, that's
for
it.
that price. Forget
the
it.
The key that was the one we did before that, which was very good and probably a little more sophisticated, was in the limited series, the Lorera. But this one, being in the classic series, was such character.
This is absolutely delicious.
This is
I mean,
great.
it's really, really delicious.
The nose is amazing.
Yeah, well,
Guayaba.
everybody's cleaned up their act. I mean, you talk about going with your dad in '93. I remember tasting wines with your dad in '73, and some of those wines are atrocious.
Oh, always doing me by 10 years. Always trying to get me up to 10 years. Hey,
20 years,
20
but
years.
who's counting? Anyway,
This
what'd
is
you give this?
96.
Okay, fine. Give it whatever you want.
And it's $21.99.
It's,
On a shelf, and
so it's
$13.99.
$13.99. Yeah, $13.99. Okay, next.
EAO.
And sometimes Y.
It's sometimes Y except after E. Okay, this
Yeah, this is great. Well,
Thau.
Viognier this is from the Provence.
Oh, wow.
But,
Then, you know what? The almonds in this nose. This is why I bought this.
Boy, did you nail that one? God,
I mean, that's
roasted
amazing.
almonds. Yeah, roasted
You
almonds.
don't see that in a wine, and particularly Viognier, because it's usually tropical. That's why I
Yeah,
bought this.
well, there's still some tropicality in there. There's a little less topicality in the conversation, but there's tropicality in the wine. Notice how I...
That was great. That was a very good segue, as far as you know. Boy, that is something else.
Boy, I'll tell you, that is amazing.
You have that with a salad that has almonds or walnuts in it. One of those salads like
Yeah, but you could have this with chicken or duck. You could have this with spicy food. You could have this with Asian food. With Indian food. It has so much length and it's got so much breadth. It goes it doesn't go this way in your mouth. It goes this way.
Yeah.
Absolutely
curry.
98 degrees.
Indian chicken curry with the peanut things on it. Oh, God. And coconut.
Fabulous. Really, really 90. I'm going to go to 99. I love this wine. This wine is real. I forgot how good this wine was.
We had some girls over there, and our friends' daughters, they were in Portugal.
Oh.
And they were texting me from Portugal. They were at Graham's, okay? Is that everything?
We're done.
So they're at Graham's, and they're like, is this a good deal? And they sent me a picture of a 40-year-old Graham's, not a Kuwaita. It's just a regular bottle of 40 Tawny. And they're like, can you get this? I said, well, let me look. So I get online. It's like $140 here. It's 160 euros there.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, which is a 15% on top of that, right? I go, don't buy it. We'll lug it home. Just buy it here.
Yeah.
Then they got back and they're like, we had white port. Have you ever heard of white port? Hey, cheers. Thanks
Hush
for
falls
coming.
over the room. And on that note, which I think was a C sharp, we'll say goodbye for the limited series for October 2018.